G'day everyone, welcome to this edition of DURKO's Notebook for the 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix. Much more exciting race than what we saw the week before at Suzuka. Got a lot to talk about, so pull up a pew, sit back, relax and enjoy the show. You wouldn't fucking read about it. So for the past 20 odd years, the Bahrain International Circuit has been host to the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's certainly an interesting circuit. Bahrain itself, as a nation, has come under some scrutiny regarding human rights campaigns and so forth. But despite that, the F1 circuit has continued to return there. And it's interesting to note that in that 20-odd years, the surface has never been replaced or replenished in any way. And that's because it's a particular type of grey whack aggregate that they put down. They got it out of the UK and placed it down there as the surface. Now, Martin Brundle described it as like a very coarse pebblecrete almost, which offers stupid amounts of grip level, but it also chews the tyres up, which I'll discuss later. I've got to say, FP1, 2 and 3 and Quali were probably not the most exciting sessions I've watched in a long time. Sort of reminded me a bit of Suzuka, and I thought, oh shit, we're up for another repeat of that. It's just going to be a snooze fest. But obviously, Liam Lawson made himself known to his engineer across the radio quite a few times and was outspoken as to his thoughts on a few other drivers. And I've got to say, my liking, or should I say liking, thoughts on Liam Lawson are starting to wane a lot. I think he could stop whinging so much and actually just get on with the job of driving, rather than saying it's everyone else's fault, they're getting in his way, and so forth. So I think it just reiterates the decision they've made to put him back to racing bulls in the V-Carb 02. But he's just got to just concentrate on his driving and stop whinging, as I said. Now, obviously, Lewis Hamilton was, for some reason, awarded Driver of the Day. That wasn't my choice. Yes, he's a seven-time world champion. Yes, he's won over 100 races. Yes, he's in a Ferrari. It's not a prize that's given out as an encouragement award or a attendance award. I think it should be better deserved for someone like either Ollie Beerman or Sonoda to have got the award, because I think they did an outstanding race. Beerman came home in 10th, qualified in P20, just had an absolutely atrociously shit qualifying session. But he brought the Haas car home. Even to score a single point, that at the end of the day for a small team like that makes a massive difference at the end of the year when the checks are signed and the prize money's handed out. And obviously Sonoda, there's been a lot of criticism, eyes on him of course with the seat swap with Lawson, but he brought that Red Bull home to score some points, and that's all he has to do is just keep scoring points and he'll keep the seat, as far as I can see. Now, as I said, obviously the tyres, they were getting chewed up, and the white compound hard tyre, the C1, was obviously not the choice to go out on. But the C2 medium was the better tyre, only because the hards were just getting absolutely destroyed after about 10 laps. And everyone was complaining there was just no grip on them. So the choice was to, for some teams, go to the softs, and even the drivers then were questioning, why the hell have you put me on a soft tyre on this circuit when I've still got about 20 to 25 laps to go? So moving on to Antonelli, I still think he's a kid to watch. I think he's just got the potential in a couple of seasons' time to start winning races and races and races and pushing towards his first championship, because that kid is just balls out, flat out, on the edges of the grips of levels of grip in the Merc. And I think, I just keep reiterating, he's just a kid to watch, and he's just going to be something into the future. Now, it was great to see, of course, before the race, Sir Jackie Stewart took his old Tyrrell for a spin around the Bahrain circuit as a way of raising awareness, obviously, for dementia, for his wife, Lady Helen, who suffers from it. I know I'm personally affected by it with my mother-in-law having it, and it's obviously it's a dreadful disease, I should say, and nobody would ever want to go through it, but I think it was great that the current 20 living world champions have all signed that helmet, including Michael Schumacher, with the assistance of Corinna, his wife. He managed to do that. And that I hope they raise millions of dollars in auctioning off that helmet. I think it's going to be a great thing. And they obviously, there was a lot of quickly obviously Hulk because he got disqualified for wearing his floorboard. But if you watched when they did the restart, the cars were just absolutely obliterating their boards, and there were so many sparks. And I thought, if you're one of those in front of you, you're going to be as blind as a welder's dog, just staring through the sparks, trying to think, shit, where's the next corner coming up? Where's my braking marker? Because, yeah, obviously Hulk went out. I'm surprised more drivers didn't get disqualified for their boards being worn out either. Or I should say beyond the minimum thickness. Now, the big talking point I read this morning was, of course, Raymond Vermeulen, who is Max Verstappen's manager. He was overheard by Ted Kravitz in the Red Bull garage or hospitality area, not exactly having a quiet word with Helmut Marko, but he was giving him an absolute spray. It's to obviously complain about the status of where the team's at, where Max's car's at, the performance overall, and what they're trying to do to fix it, because the word is Raymond absolutely gave it to Helmut and took off his accreditation, threw it and said, righto, that's it. He apparently just left with the shits. So Red Bull have called for a crisis meeting. We'll see what comes out of that, but I think, we're 4 races deep into a 24-race season, and the cracks at Milton Keynes are really starting to appear. That there's an issue. They've lost Adrian Newey as the designer. They've lost other key staff out of that team, and it's clearly they're just struggling to survive and potentially turn the RB car into anything that is race worthy, let alone a winner, despite Max's win in Japan. So we'll see what happens in Saudi Arabia next weekend, because that's a fast circuit, and we'll have to see what Red Bull can do to come back and either help Max to get a winning car or to help Tsunoda stay in the points. So overall, not a bad race. I thought it was going to be a snooze fest, but it was great to see plenty of close action, close racing, overtakes, all the stuff we want to see. So for me, it wasn't bad Bahrain, and I'm quietly looking forward to Saudi Arabia. I like the speed there, and we'll see what that delivers for us. Until then, thanks for watching. Talk to you next weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.